Yes, y'all, we have done it. They look beautiful. Quite simple, super simple. Stay tuned. Let's get these finished. So I'm starting off with filed almond medium tips. I'm gonna go in with this nude, almost like a cover nude, quite not cover nude, a sheerish type nude. I'm gonna run in with two coats of this. I believe I only show you one, but we're gonna do 2 coats of this. We want to make sure that they cover sidewall to sidewall, the tips, the ends. When I do things like this, I tend to file all around the edges, the tips, but I did want to kind of leave the center clear of any scratches. We're going in with the second coat now. We didn't do any base coat because we're actually going to go in after this and add a hard gel color that I made that's pretty much identical to this, but I wanted to give these some strength. And I'm telling you, it works. I have never had an issue, but again, we're just going to make sure that the ends, the tips, the edges, everything is completely covered and smooth. Now we're going in with what I call my thin pink. Like I say, it's pretty much the same color, but I'm doing this to add some additional smoothness and to add some strength. You're gonna see I polish them down, and then once I get them all coated, I'm actually gonna turn them around and draw the builder gel away from the cuticle area so it doesn't bulk up too much. There isn't going to be any more steps to the cuticle area except for the top coat that we're going to use at the end. So now that I've got them all coated, I'm going to go ahead and draw all of that down towards the center and the free edge. Once they are completely cured, I cure everything for their normal times when I'm doing press-ons. We're going to go in with this Vanillisa. They do tend, if you saw my video, I'll be sure to link it above about these particular color muds, but they do tend to separate a little bit when they just sit there. But I'm going to go in with this color, and I'm just going to add it to a couple of nails. I'm really just considering this a drunken French. I don't want to sit here and waste too much time on perfection, but pretty much a drunken French, just, you know, a nice little coat. I am going to do 2 coats just to make sure, you know, the color is there. And we're only doing this on 4 total out of the 10 nails. So once I've completed those ones, I pop them in the lamp for a full 60 seconds, and then we're going to move on to the next ones. And at this point, I'm still kind of deciding like what it is I want to do. I knew what colors I wanted to use, and I knew what products I wanted to use and gems and such. And I'm just going to line them up and make sure that the Drunken French is actually going down evenly on, you know, each hand. So we're going to go in with the second coat. I'm going to paint that on really nicely. You got to forgive my brush here. It's one I use quite often, but I do tend to clean these ones a lot with alcohol, but they're really cheap brushes. I don't do that with my good brushes. So that one wasn't, now I'm going in with the black liner. This is the eye gel painting gel, and I'm just using this to create my outline. That first one I did wasn't quite drunken enough for me, but again, with this type of drunken French tip, you don't really want perfection. So I'm just going to create the outline. I'm going to pop those in the lamp for a full 60 seconds, and then we're going to move on with my favorite 1-coat black. And of course, I got to make sure that I get the sidewalls fully covered as well before we move on. So with my favorite 1-coat black, we're just going to basically fill in the French. I think a black French tip is probably one of the classiest, one of the cutest. It's so beautiful. You just, I can never get enough of a black French. I think we're going to be seeing it a lot. We always see it a lot, should I say, but I'm noticing a lot of black going on. So I'm going to fill in the tip. Once I'm pretty confident and happy with how it's been filled, I'm just gonna go in and take my liner brush, go around and crispen up the Drunken smile line, and move on to the next nail. But I believe I'm only showing you one, just so it's not so monotonous in the video. But like you can see here, I'm just going to go around, make sure that the lines are fully crisp and the sides are covered perfectly. And because this is my favorite one coat black, I actually cure it for 90 seconds. Now we're going to move on with this darker tan, and we're just going to create some lines. I didn't want it to look like tiger stripes. In the end, I think it kind of did, which is fine. It's okay. But I just wanted it to be, a little abstract, something different. And I'm really proud on how they turned out. I think she's gonna love them. So again, we are just gonna add some beautiful lines here, just some quick strokes. Once I go through and add the lines where I want them, I'm actually going to go back through and tie it into the sidewalls there, so there's no missing, so the line goes from the middle to the ends completely, rather than just, a stroke here and there. Excuse it if you hear the wind and the chimes. I'm outside. Again, my son is asleep. Yay. So I'm going to go in with the golds. I'm going to line up the Drunken smile line. I think black and gold together are absolutely perfect, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic with the cream and the brown on the accent nails. I do go a little thicker on this part just because I wanted it to be very prominent, because I do want it matte, and I didn't want the matte coat to kind of draw away from the gold. So I do make it just a tad bit thicker. Now, had I thought about it, I probably would have went through, after I top coated these with matte coat, I probably would have went through this line with just a really thin layer of top coat. But either way, they still turned out beautifully. I'm not upset as well at all. So once we complete that, again, we're going to go in and pop those in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then we are going to move on to crispening the smile line with the black on the accent nails. And these ones actually came out more of a Drunken style, kind of a messy style. Like I wanted more than the black ones did, but I think that's mainly just because, I actually painted the color first, so it kind of allowed me to, mess up a lot more as I wanted to. So I'm gonna make sure those go from sidewall to sidewall. I do add some little black lines in here. These ones came out a bit thinner and a little more weak than I wanted them to, but I go ahead here later and darken those up a little bit. And I did just add the black because I really wanted them to tie in to the other nails a lot better than they were on the tip. But I didn't want to add any gold or anything because I did want to put a few gems and a cuticle rail. This is what they're looking like. They do look fabulous just like this. I'm so glad I turned them matte. Some designs just look much more amazing in matte, but I'm going to go through and add the matte top coat. With this, I always make sure that I'm coating the ends and the sidewalls really well, so I tend to go in a little thicker with it and then brush it down as I move along. But yeah, so we're going to get these matted, and then we're going to get these cured in the lamp for 60 seconds. And this also helps even everything out. That's one thing I do love about the matte top coat is it does tend to do that. Unless you're using Poochie Snail's Super Shine top coat, that'll level everything out as well. So here we are. I am going to use some gold cuticle beads. I am also going to use these cuticle cuffs or cuticle bars, however you want to say it. And first thing I'm going to do is grab my pink silicone mat here. I'm going to add these here and then just throw some top coat on top of them to kind of coat them really well. And using my tweezers, I'm going to go ahead and add them to the nail. This one I kind of messed up a little bit. I don't typically like to have to move so much, but before I get those cured, I'm going to go ahead and add just a touch more class. And we're going to do some pearls, some caviar beads, and then we're going to pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then we're going to move on and just add some top coat, some just regular top coat, so they really stick on there. We're going to add some pearls and a few caviar beads to either side just to kind of give it, you know, cute little dainty look, really nice, you know, something that draws the eye. And then we're going to go on the other hand as well and do the same thing. Once I have those the way I like them, of course, I do pop them into the lamp for a full 60 seconds. And then, because we've actually added a clear, shiny top coat, I'm going to take my matte top coat and my liner brush, and I'm just going to go around the gem placement that I just added there. Top coat can be, matte top coat can be a lot softer than shiny top coat, but it's okay. So we've already adhered it with the shiny top coat. Now we're just gonna go ahead and go around the cuticle area and all of those little beads with the matte top coat so it can completely matches the rest. And bam, we are done. So now I am just gonna show you what they look like boxed and ready to ship. And wow, those came out amazing. I can only imagine what they're gonna look like on the hands. They are super cute, super dainty. I believe on my Instagram I said it was when you're classy yet feisty, and pearls do just nicely. But thank you all so much for watching. We're gonna do some more press-on videos here real soon. I've got a couple orders coming up, so don't forget to subscribe.